some of those hard experiences that we grew up with, shaped us into who we are today.
Absolutely.
Right. And so it's almost like, I don't know, we shelter the kids and we put them in this bubble, and then they turn out to be little monsters. I'm not saying your kids are monsters, but you know what I'm talking about.
Or they're not able to,
babies, you know what I'm talking about?
To overcome, adapt and overcome. They're, we helicopter mom or dad them.
Right.
And they're weak,
Yes.
And they're not able to think independently because everything's done for them.
Their mindset
100%.
is weak.
Yeah.
100%.
See, I had some, growing up as a child, I had some moments where I didn't have electricity and water. I remember stealing water from the neighbors to flush the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember candlelight. I slept in a bookshelf. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no.
yeah, I remember some stuff, but I didn't have no bombs going off around me. So like, but those things shaped me into who I am today.
100%. And I'm sure you're more appreciative of what you have now.
Yeah.
And your experiences now and your lifestyle now, more than anything.
Right.
And I'm, like you said, I'm guilty of doing what you're saying to my kids, because I grew up with so much anxiety at the time that now as an adult I deal with all the time, right? And I feel that, when I was raising my kids, ever since they were babies, I wanted to create this environment of no anxiety and no fear, and everything is perfect and the perfect life. And I think because I went through so much of it, I wanted them to just not worry about anything at all. And so they were like, I want this. I'm like, here it is. Can we go here? Yeah, of course we can. And so like I take them on the best vacations, and they stay in like 5-star resorts all the time, and they go to private schools, and whatever they want, it's like given to them on a silver platter. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, I think I asked my daughter, I'm like, can you put this in the microwave? And she goes, where's the microwave? And I was like, are you kidding?
What?
I'm like, what? I mean, not, mind you, I don't microwave stuff, but still, and at that point I was like, I think I should probably, let the kids be a little bit, do things on their own.
Spread their wings a little.
Spread their wings a little. And so I started a couple years ago to be like, well, you're now 13. It's time, maybe you can put your own bagel in the toaster.
Oh, man.
So 14, right, is when you came over here?
14.
So, I mean, that's still a pretty young, impressionable age. Lots of trauma and, that kind of baggage. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, how was that journey from that side of the world to this side of the world in this whole new environment, and then, like, the counseling or PTSD and things that you dealt with? Like, how did you...
So, I mean, we're Lebanese. There's no such thing as I'm going to take you to a therapist. You just, like, deal with it, right? Middle Easterns, it's like, what's wrong? You just deal with it. You just go with the flow. And so I think...
Therapist?
Yeah, there's no such thing. Like, how do you deal with PTSD? I think also I had older brothers and sisters, and I think that... maybe they were a little bit older, so they didn't feel it as much. They didn't go through the whole like mental trauma as much as I did. But honestly, I didn't. I thought I was okay all along because I grew up just adapting, and I kept adapting. So whatever happened to me, I'm like, oh, I can handle it. I can handle it. I can handle it. And it wasn't until I think I was probably in my early 20s that one day I was sitting in the office and I completely had like a panic attack. And at that point, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like, oh my gosh, I thought I'm unhealthy, or I have a heart disease, or what's going on with me. But I've been like a workout fanatic forever, and I've been a runner, and I was like, what's happening? And at that time, I was like, literally, the ambulance came and took me to the hospital, and for days they couldn't figure out what's going on with me. And I was like, I think I have a brain tumor. I think I'm dying of this. And I'm a total hypochondriac, right? Especially like going to dental school, like that first year when you're studying stuff, and they're like, this is a symptom of that. And I'm like, I got it. That's me. I have this disease. And so when that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, it's my heart. No, I have brain cancer. No, I have brain tumor. And literally weeks of testing, they couldn't figure out what it was, because I was getting dizzy. I was getting like these heart palpitations, and someone after 2 weeks said, you know what, you just went through like a panic attack. And I was like, what? And I was like, what's that? And that's what took me back to, I remember, then that's when I started really digging, and I realized that all these years of trauma that I never dealt with because I just pushed it down. And every time something happened to me, I'm like, I'm fine, I'm tough. And I'm an Aquarius, so it's like, I just deal with things. I just move on, and I'm tough, and I don't show my emotions.
It is what it is.
And
right?
I'm strong,